Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. It's the Friday afternoon before Week 6 in college football. We are talking with the very well-respected handicapper, Chris Andrews, and we are going to get some final thoughts from him on current lines and line movement that he's seen over the week. That's been interesting. Chris Andrews, thanks for being back with us. What's the first college Week 6 game you want to bring up with us?
Well, I want to bring up West Virginia going against Oklahoma State. Last week, West Virginia really did not look very good. They played a poor game in their first road game of the season. Skylar Howard was not very good, and really that was the first bad game he's played in his career. Played part-time towards the end of last season, had played very well this season. I think they make a big rebound this week against Oak State. Oak State struggled themselves in beating Kansas State, who was playing with a wide receiver at quarterback. And before that, they won by 3 at Texas. Maybe not quite as impressive as we thought at the time. I think it's a very difficult road trip. I think it's going to be difficult for all these teams in the Big 12 to go to West Virginia, very much outside of their geographic region. So I look for West Virginia to have a big rebound game this week. I'm laying 6.5 on them over Oklahoma State.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that's what I was thinking as well, and I actually did bet West Virginia at -6.5, but what's your take on the live move? It's like for comparison, right? I also like BYU at -7 much earlier in the week. Now it's up to -9. That line movement makes sense to me. That's what I would expect, but the West Virginia game hasn't budged at all. If anything, it's gone slightly in Oklahoma State's direction.
Well, I'm horrible with these names, but their good cornerback is out.
Right.
And I think that probably moved the line 0.5 point for West Virginia. And I think that means a little something, but not that much. I think a defensive player is easy to just plan around and have him not be that big of an impact on the game. So, I mean, does he mean something? I think he does, but I still like West Virginia.
All right. That's the way I was thinking earlier in the week. I'm going to be on that one myself, -6.5. What's the second college game you'd like to bring up, Chris?
I like Tennessee this week. I think they make a comeback. I know they've had a couple of bad weeks in a row. They lost to Arkansas last week. They lost to Florida, which was a real heartbreaker the week before. Now they come home, and there is a little bit of pressure on them and pressure on their coach, Butch Jones. But I think they respond this week. I think Georgia is the team that's going to be reeling. Last week, famously, we made Georgia a favorite over Alabama, at least the people. I personally had Alabama in the game, but the line closed with Georgia as the favorite. I think it was a big game for Georgia, a big game for their players, their fans, the coaches. I think that's a team that is going to struggle this week, just getting over that emotional blow that they had to face in losing to their big rival, a game that they had planned from the beginning of the year. I think, not that they had penciled in a win, I think that they did expect to win that game, and it was just a horrible effort on their part. And I think they feel that this week and come out with a poor effort again.
Yeah, in our video last week, you gave us a great call on Alabama over Georgia. I went on record as saying that game scared the crap out of me, and so I completely trust you on your read on Georgia this week as well. Right now, Tennessee is a 3-point home underdog, and you get a nice dog line on the money line in that one as well. All right, what's the third game you wanted to bring up with us, Chris?
Another one I played earlier in the week when it was 7 flat, but I like Utah over California. I think Utah is just a tough team, physically tough, mentally tough. And I think going into Utah is probably one of those home fields that a lot of people don't know about. Cal, their offensive numbers are fantastic. I'll tell you, their defensive numbers aren't bad either.
Right.
But they haven't played a team the caliber of Utah. And I know that Oregon game, the score kind of got away. But still, when you win by that much, it has to mean something. I know they also beat Michigan earlier in the year when Michigan wasn't quite what they are right now. But nonetheless, this is a program that's been coming the last couple of years. Ever since they came into the Pac-12, I think they had to recruit up to Pac-12 level. I think they've finally done that. Good veteran coach, good veteran quarterback. I think they're going to be too tough for California making the trip into Utah, and I'm going to play Utah -7.
All right, Chris, you always you tend to take games that scare the crap out of me, and this is another one of them. Utah coming off a bye, obviously it's very tough, but first of all, we know what Pac-12 underdogs, these road underdogs in the Pac-12 are way outperforming their expectations, and California in general just feels like the kind of team that I want to bet against as a favorite, but that when they're a big underdog like this, makes me very nervous to bet against them. But I trust you. It's another game, scares the crap out of me. -7 is still available for Utah. Chris Andrews, thanks so much for your thoughts this week.